Tonight, suburban smash. Police investigate a violent hit and run in Perth's north that's left a man with a broken neck. A close call in a tyre store, an e-scooter unexpectedly exploding. One of the rescuers from the Rottnest seaplane tragedy speaks for the first time as he's awarded a bravery medal. Secret mushroom murder details, the explosive evidence the Erin Patterson jury never got to hear. And could West Coast be targeting a premiership-winning coach to help Andrew McQualter?
This is 10 News Perth.
Good evening, I'm Estelle Lewis. Police are investigating an early morning attack in Perth's north that left a 55-year-old man seriously injured with a broken neck. Neighbours say a verbal altercation broke out, believed to be over a rental debt, before a car was stolen and driven erratically. Jessica Hayes has more.
Estelle, police say they received a call from a man claiming he was being threatened by 2 carloads of people at a home on Cane Loop here in Alkimos around 5:30 this morning. A short time later, authorities received more calls about that vehicle doing burnouts in the same street. That's when the 55-year-old man was hit by a car. He suffered serious injuries and was rushed to Royal Perth Hospital. It's understood he remains there in a stable condition. Major crash and forensic detectives scoured the scene today, with Howden Parade and Land Beach Boulevard also blocked off for several hours. Police focusing their attention on a black ute which appears to have a smashed window. Neighbours have told 10 News First hooning isn't uncommon in the area, but what happened last night was different.
There were 2 cars that sounded like they were either racing or slamming on their brakes as they were coming down. And then they were obviously must have been doing loops around here or the roundabout down there.
I just heard lots of car screeching and just a bit of road rage and some shouting, threatening each other and a lot of swear words. And I rang my husband and he said, I saw a silver car just at the end of our street and door open and a guy slouched over it.
Estelle, so far no charges have been laid. Police are remaining tight-lipped about exactly what unfolded here. Anyone with information is being urged to come forward.
The state's top firefighter has issued an urgent warning about lithium batteries as the rate of fires sparked by them soars. The latest just this morning, an e-scooter bursting into flames while its owner was changing the tyre.
A routine tyre change gone dangerously wrong.
I was just in complete shock. I could not believe it could go up so quickly and so ferociously. It was crazy.
The e-scooter, less than 4 months old, exploding into flames while charging at this tyre shop in Bentley early this morning. A close call for the store manager, who quickly extinguished it.
Lucky he was there, you know. If he wasn't there, the whole shop would have gone down.
Exactly what DFES wants to warn every West Aussie about. Lithium-ion batteries the cause of 94 fires across the state this year, on track to beat last year's record of 178.
Already in 2025, 570 residential structure fires and a significant number of these have been caused by lithium-ion batteries.
Phones, power banks, electrical tools, even vacuums can rely on the batteries. DFES urging caution, especially when it comes to e-ridables.
Buying quality, make sure you're not leaving them on charge unattended, and checking them for damage are really important.
Batteries and e-scooters purchased online posing a risk.
There is the chance that you can buy what you believe is a brand new scooter and it has a second-hand battery in it.
But quality is no substitute for vigilance.
It's just a very, very good e-scooter, well-known brand, just not something you'd expect, just crazy.
Damaged batteries should be disposed of correctly and can be discarded safely through Recycle Right. Grace Barlow, 10 News.
One of the first people to reach the deadly Rottnest Island seaplane disaster has spoken for the first time. Jeffrey Gilmore's courageous and selfless actions were recognised at this year's Coastal Bravery Awards.
When the Swan River seaplane Cessna crashed seconds after takeoff on a windy January afternoon in Thompson Bay, Jeffrey Gilmore didn't think twice before jumping in the water.
With surf life saving, you're trained to react. When we got there was no one in the water, everyone was in the plane.
The off-duty lifeguard and another responder, Toby Webster, were the first to reach the partially submerged aircraft. Their courage and quick thinking guiding 4 survivors to safety.
Because they were stuck in the cargo compartment, I couldn't get them outside of my door, on my side, and there wasn't much air left. And as I said, if it wasn't for Toby breaking that glass, they wouldn't have got out.
But his actions came at a personal cost. The deaths of the 34-year-old pilot, James Wong, and 2 European tourists still weighing heavily on his mind.
Knowing that 4 people had got out and that 3 people were still stuck in there and that he couldn't get to those 3 people was incredibly, it still impacts me to this day.
The father of 2's heroic actions earning him a gold medallion for exceptional bravery.
The Coastal Bravery Awards recognise people who put their own lives at risk to help others. This year, 37 heroes were honoured, among them police, lifeguards and everyday people.
Including Austin Wyeth, who was just 13 years old when he rescued 2 men struggling in a rip 100 metres off Scarborough Beach.
Definitely a surreal experience, and wasn't thinking at the time. Heart was going very fast and just saw people in danger. Was like, I have to go help them.
But not all rescues have a happy ending. A reminder of what's at stake along WA's 13,000-kilometre coastline.
Anyone who risks their life to save another person or persons are a hero, and you will always be a hero.
James Broadhurst, 10 News.
State Government Minister Stephen Dawson has been caught up in a mid-air scare. A government jet was travelling to Carnarvon from Perth when it was forced to make an emergency landing in Geraldton. Minister Dawson and a staffer from his office were on board. It's believed the aircraft had to circle the region to burn fuel before safely landing.
It sounds like it's pretty dramatic, and I do know that everyone's okay. So all of the people on the aircraft are safe.
The Minister has praised the actions of the flight crew and thanked the emergency services crew who were on standby in Geraldton. A jury has begun deliberating in the case of a mother of 2 accused of stabbing her daughter's secret boyfriend. Brianna Inferreira has the details.
Estelle, the jury went out this afternoon after hearing 4 days of evidence. Central to the case is whether Jennifer Moylan Chin was acting in self-defence when she stabbed a 14-year-old boy. The mother of 2 is accused of causing bodily harm when she found the boy semi-naked in a bed in the family's Parkwood home. She maintains she believed he was an intruder and feared he'd assaulted her daughter. In closing remarks today, the prosecution argued the stabbing was not self-defence, saying Mrs. Chin was angry at this boy and what had been going on under her roof. And by the time they got to the front of the door, it had gone too far. Mrs. Chin knew she'd gone too far. It's why she didn't call 000. Mrs. Chin sat crying in the dock as her defence lawyer told the court her only specific intention from beginning to end was to protect her children at all costs. She was terrified, scared, confused. Estelle, it will now be up to the jury to decide which side they believe.
Israel's Security Cabinet has approved Benjamin Netanyahu's plan to seize total control of Gaza. While the PM claims he wants peace in the region, the decision defies widespread international calls for a ceasefire.
One of the only ways food reaches Gaza is when it drops from the sky. So these planes are a sight for hungry, desperate eyes. Palestinians forced to scramble for their supper as the man who has blocked so much food and aid from entering the territory publicly declared his intention to take control of Gaza entirely.
Will Israel take control of all of Gaza?
We intend to, in order to assure our security, remove Hamas there.
And he followed through. His plan was approved by Israel's Security Council hours after this Fox News interview. He claims to want peace and says he'll hand Gaza over to Arab forces to govern it properly. But after years of suffering and a violent war that's claimed thousands of lives, not everyone believes him.
The basic necessities for life don't exist. We're going from bad to worse. We pray to God Almighty this decision won't be implemented.
Protesters in Israel's capital aren't supportive either.
This war is a political war. The only person that benefits from this war is Benjamin Netanyahu that's trying to avoid jail.
From our Foreign Minister Penny Wong, Australia calls on Israel not to go down this path, which will only worsen the humanitarian catastrophe in Gaza. That warning, among countless others, blatantly ignored by the Israeli Prime Minister, who already stands accused of war crimes, and may be in breach of international law once more if he forcibly occupies Gaza. Tallulah Thompson, 10 News.
Explosive evidence in the mushroom murder trial never seen or heard by the jury has been made public. It includes a document found on a device from Erin Patterson's house detailing common poisons used in homicides and the required fatal doses.
1 week after serving up a deadly meal, detectives sat Erin Patterson down for a formal interview, clearly suspicious the mother of two had committed murder.
Erin, I intend to interview you today in relation to the death of two people, being Gail Patterson and Heather Wilkinson.
Gail's husband Don, who had received a liver transplant the night before, lost his fight for life hours later, while the fourth guest, Ian Wilkinson, was also gravely ill. She told police she invited them for lunch because she had no other family.
And they've always been really good to me.
Yeah.
And I want to maintain those relationships with them, in spite of what's happened with Simon. I love them a lot.
The web of lies she'd eventually find herself tangled in built when she claimed she'd never foraged for mushrooms.
Obviously we've got concerns in relation to these mushrooms and where they've come from. Is that something you've done in the past, foraging for the mushrooms or anything like that? Never?
Never.
Right. Do you preserve foods or anything like that?
No.
Have you ever dehydrated food or anything like that?
While the jury was shown the police interview, other evidence was excluded from the 11-week trial, including documents found on devices seized from Patterson's Leongatha home. One document was titled Some Common Homicidal Poisons. It details the lethal doses of substances, including antifreeze, arsenic and cyanide. It can now also be revealed Simon Patterson suspected his wife was trying to poison him as far back as 2021. Fearing she had sabotaged a series of dishes she had cooked for him, he never shared those suspicions with his family until his mother, father, aunt and uncle were fighting for their lives. In a meeting in the hospital chapel, Simon told his cousins he'd stopped eating his wife's foods because of his suspicions and apologised for not telling them. Patterson appeared via video link at a brief Supreme Court hearing this morning where Justice Christopher Beale lifted the media gag order. Erin Patterson will make her plea for leniency at a 2-day pre-sentencing hearing beginning on August 25th. Unlike her 11-week trial, it'll be held in Melbourne due to maintenance works in Morwell. Patterson faces a maximum penalty of life in prison after she was found guilty last month of murdering her in-laws Don and Gail Patterson and Gail's sister Heather Wilkinson and the attempted murder of Ian Wilkinson. Sam Mills, 10 News.
Time to get an early look at sport, and the finals fight is intriguing.
Yeah, it certainly is, Estelle. The door is open to the top four and Fremantle must beat Port Adelaide. Plus, a double knockout blow. Jeremy Howe rushed to hospital while the Pies' premiership chances take a beating. And heat change, a fresh-faced American planning to return the Perth Heat, Estelle, to glory days. All that and a little bit more coming up.
Sounds good. Thanks, Locke. Still to come on 10 News Perth. Heartbreak as a 6-year-old dies from flu after twice being sent home from hospital. And police step up their crackdown on illegal underground casinos.
At the Australian Federal Police, everyday people do legendary work in over 200 diverse roles around Australia and the world. Everyday people, legendary work.
It's been a long road. Months of missteps became pirouettes, and 2 left feet turned right. Finally, tonight, there's a dance floor that's yours for the taking. Go from A to centre stage with Ampol Amplify Premium Fuels, engineered for tough Aussie conditions.
Is this a hit it situation?
It's whatever kind of adventure we want it to be.
This crew is a team.
The choices you make in that chair, they are yours to make and yours to live with.
We await your orders, sir.
We have to stop this invasion.
Get to the ship! We are going to find our way out of this together. Hang on!
It's 1 in 1,000 we get it done right or don't blow ourselves up.
We'll just turn it off before we blow up.
Star Trek Strange New Worlds. New season on Paramount+.
What's the show?
Amish farmer wants a what?
See, I would have gone with McLeod's granddaughters, but...
You'll be holding on to your bonnet when Celia, Mick and Mel join Ed and Sam on Have You Been Paying Attention? Monday on 10.
Watch it stream free.
WA police are cracking down on underground casinos, showing the moment an illegal gaming house was raided. Officers swooped on the illegal baccarat game inside a Marangaroo home in April. 18 people were present, including a Crown Casino employee, allegedly acting as a dealer, who has since had his licence suspended. Gaming items and $83,000 in cash was seized from the property.
We're not after, people's poker games at home. This is about organised games that are illegal, and it's very likely that organised criminals are involved. They're the ones we're after.
Just last month, 3 men were fined $25,000 after a raid on an illegal gaming house in Mount Lawley. Almost $130,000 in cash was also seized. An investigation has been launched in New South Wales after the tragic death of a 6-year-old girl from flu. It's been revealed she was sent home from Sydney's Children's Hospital twice before she died the next day at a different hospital.
How do you explain to little children their classmate is gone? The 6-year-old girl was a beloved kindy kid here at St Luke's Grammar. Today, her heartbroken school remembered her as being so full of light and joy and adored.
Obviously shocked by it, and I just feel terrible for the family involved.
They've requested privacy, but what we do know is their little girl was taken to the emergency department at Sydney Children's Hospital in Randwick on Monday. Critically assessed, she was sent home, only to return later that day, this time diagnosed with influenza. But the 6-year-old was again discharged with an at-home guidance plan. Her condition deteriorating, she was then taken to Northern Beaches Hospital, where the next day, police confirmed she passed away.
I don't have easy answers today. If I was able to detail to you this morning what had happened to give some kind of relief to that family, I promise you I'd do it straight away.
Deeply saddened, Northern Beaches Hospital stressed, alongside Sydney Children's Hospital network where the child received care earlier in the day, we will undertake the appropriate investigations.
Well, I certainly want to get to the bottom of what is a very, very serious issue, and my heart and all my thoughts and prayers are with the family.
This tragedy will come under the most intense review. It's already been referred to the coroner and will be the subject of a serious adverse event review, which looks into the most critical incidents.
There are so many questions about what happened, but they will all be answered appropriately by senior clinicians.
Influenza activity is still high, according to the latest health reports. Last year, the flu killed 15 youngsters aged 0 to 19. But this tragedy comes the very week the government rolled out more changes in the wake of toddler Joe Mass's death after mistreatment at Northern Beaches Hospital. This a blow to all.
This is incredibly traumatic for healthcare professionals and staff. They go to work every single day to provide the very best care right across our New South Wales health and hospital system.
Ali Donaldson, 10 News.
A Maylands woman has been fined $5,000 and banned from owning a pet for 5 years after keeping her kitten locked in a room with no food or water. RSPCA inspectors found the underweight and dehydrated 8-week-old kitten named Coco inside the unit on Peninsula Road in May last year. It comes as a Redcliffe couple were fined $7,000 after inspectors seized their underweight dogs in September. A 40-year-old woman and her 38-year-old partner have been banned from owning an animal for the next 5 years. Time for the weather now with Bo Pearson. And Bo, you've found somewhere to stay dry.
Yeah, Estelle, I certainly have, and that is a good spot to be this weekend because it is going to absolutely bucket down. Today in Perth, we had a fairly warm minimum, though. It got down to 13 degrees, a maximum of 22, and it's still 18 in the city as we speak. The radar shows an early taste of what to expect tomorrow. The Perth rain gauge got absolutely smashed for a brief period after lunch. About 11 millimetres of rain fell quickly. The Bickley area also got a drenching. Tomorrow, rainfall-wise, we can expect a lot of rain across the southwest of WA, all the way from Jurien Bay down to Mandurah. There is a severe weather warning for lots of rainfall with up to 70 millimetre falls possible in some areas. The synoptic chart shows a cold front that's moving through the southwest land division this evening and a slow-moving trough that'll develop around the lower west tomorrow morning. Ahead of that, another cold front coming through later on Saturday. Estelle, I'll have more details on that wild weather from here, somewhere dry. We're at Willie's Pizza Bar serving up some of the best slices in town. There's a wonderful event happening all through August. You're going to want a pizza this. See you soon.
Thanks, Bo. Up next on 10 News Perth. Donald Trump's higher tariffs officially come into effect, how the world economy reacted. And retail revolution. Thousands take over central Melbourne for the opening of Mecca's flagship megastore.
Welcome to the Wildlife Retreat at Taronga, an elegant eco-retreat overlooking Sydney Harbour. Encounter animals up close, adding culinary delights rich with native ingredients, and your experience becomes naturally unforgettable.
I wish I had the right uniform and school shoes like the other kids. I really want to go on excursions, but I know Mum's worried about money, so I'm not going to ask. And homework? It didn't used to be so hard. But I'm still trying. I won't give up.
Molly's doing everything she can to succeed at school. But how can she move forward when poverty holds her back? If you agree that every child deserves a chance to achieve all they're capable of, sponsor a child with the Smith family. Please go online or call 1-800-572-084. You can stop poverty getting in the way of a child's potential. Sponsor a child like Molly today.
I just wish I had what I need for school. Then I know I could do better.
I want the world title of Soul Survivor. I'm a Survivor legend. I played Survivor 3 times and I won twice. Tony! I won $3 million. But I'm not here for the money. I'm here for the glory.
Brace yourself, Tony. You're going up against Australia's best.
Nobody has been a more powerful player than me. Nobody.
All right.
Survivor, Australia versus the world. Starts August 17 on 10.
Patient is in respiratory distress.
There's nothing to explain why he's getting worse.
The tumor on his neck is pressing on his airway.
Watson, that kid doesn't have a tumor. The Cowden screening came back negative.
We have to figure out what's wrong with him right now or he could die.
Watson, Sunday on 10.
KFC's burger has shocked health experts. It has been driven around Melbourne at 100 k's an hour.
What was it like in the newsroom? Those two stories came in.
The Cheap Seats, Tuesday on 10.
Watch Extreme 3.
Donald Trump's global tariffs are active, with extra charges now placed on goods exported to America from every country. Markets reacted with turbulence, with US indices down overnight but expected to gain some back when trading opens later tonight. The ASX reacted in a similar fashion, closing today down but up on the week. Despite the lingering uncertainty and fears prices and inflation in the US are set to rise, Trump's team is positive.
This year, we could have about $300 billion of new revenue, which is 1% of GDP, and then there's a chance that that could be higher in 26.
The question is where that money is ultimately coming from. So far, most big importers and companies have paid the extra charges, but recent surveys show they're preparing to pass it on to the consumer. Exhausted French firefighters have been given a glimmer of hope, with the country's largest wildfire slowing overnight, but still far from being under control. An area larger than Paris has been consumed so far, and at least one person has been killed as the fires keep burning through tinder-dry country in and around Aude. Several hundred villagers have been evacuated to a public sports facility. In Canada, fires have burned through a staggering 110,000 square kilometres of forest. That's almost the area of Greece. Firefighters from across the country and overseas, including from Australia, have been deployed to the fire front to try to control the monster blazes. The smoke has caused health alerts across a dozen US states to the south, with some reporting the worst air pollution in the world. It's been revealed the gunman who shot and wounded 5 of his fellow soldiers on a Georgia Army base had previously requested a transfer, claiming racism and bullying. Cornelius Radford was led in shackles to the Liberty County Jail, where he's been kept in solitary confinement since the shooting. 2 troopers who served with Radford at a previous base say he'd been relentlessly bullied over a stutter to the point that he lost the ability to speak. Radford has been interviewed, but authorities haven't disclosed his motive. Central Melbourne was taken over by beauty lovers today, with some 20,000 people from across the country queuing for the opening of Mecca's Flagship store. It's the biggest standalone makeup store in the world, combining beauty with wellness shopping.
Taking over Bourke Street Mall, it was the party of a century. To celebrate one of the biggest retail openings in 100 years. It was a pre-dawn start for those who wanted prime position.
But literally straight after we got here, the other people arrived, like 2 minutes after.
Treats were wheeled out to give a taste of what's in store.
This is probably my favourite line I've ever stood in for a long time.
The world's largest standalone beauty store is a one-stop shop for hair, skin and nail treatments, spanning 4,000 square metres across 3 levels. Those behind the brick-and-mortar creation wanted to change the way we shop.
So much of that was experiential, and the opportunity to really explore, test, try and play with products from all categories.
Whether it's expert advice,
the face, you wait 2 minutes, it nibbles away at all of the dead skin.
A bouquet or natural treatments.
We think that wellness is the next frontier of beauty.
More than 20,000 came for the opening of Mecca's Flagship store.
We're from Port Macquarie, so we travelled quite far.
From one self-funded South Yarra shop in 1997 to more than 100 across Australia and New Zealand, with 200 brands on offer.
Do you have a shopping list?
I do, and a few requests from some girlfriends as well.
No shopping list. My daughter's giving me a few things that she'd like.
It's taken 4 years to bring this mega store to life, with heritage features in and outside the building needing to be taken into consideration. And the restoration isn't done. In 4 weeks' time, the full facade will be revealed, with hopes this will spark a CBD retail renaissance.
It's going to be a destination for people, not just across our city, across our country, but across the world. There is nothing else like this.
Ashley Paholic, 10 News.
Still to come on 10 News Perth. State of the art, WA's newest police station hailed the best in the country. And the unlikely friendship showing how a simple connection can change a life.
Score a 50-cent Macca's soft serve cone, a $2 hamburger, or a $3.50 chicken and cheese. Get 8 items from 50 cents with Macca's loose change menu.
Wow, that's hideous. Where do we even start with this? There's not a single redeeming feature in this room.
Selling Houses Australia is coming to 10.
It's like an RSL that needs a reno.
If you love renos, this is the show for you.
Your magic wand's got to work very, very hard. We can create a diamond in the rough. Oh my God, wow.
The A-Team are here to help you sell your home from 7:30 tonight on 10.
Watch and stream free.
You know what we should do here? A seance.
Won't you come with me to a place in a little town?
If the good spirit of Levi is near, then please enter the glass. Gracie, darling, that girl that disappeared back in the 90s.
Another darling girl's gone missing, just like Gracie.
There's no trace of her.
Search party didn't find anything.
It's like it's happening again.
So you think that this town is possessed by evil spirits?
Spirits didn't take Gracie away.
Gracie, darling, can we play?
They're all connected. Levi, darling. Gracie, darling. Frankie, darling.
Who hurt Gracie?
Won't you come with me to a place in a little town?
David Tennant and Olivia Colman in the hit UK drama.
Rock fall around the body was faked.
Try to make it look like an accident.
We will find the person responsible. You have my word.
Stream every episode of Broadchurch for free on 10.
Tonight's top stories. WA's top firefighter Darren Clem has issued an urgent warning to households after a dramatic spike in the number of fires caused by products with lithium batteries. The latest ignited this morning by an e-scooter at a business in Bentley. An Alkimos man has been seriously injured after he was hit by a car outside his home. Witnesses say the car was heard hooning before the crash. Police are investigating. And a man has been recognised for his bravery after the deadly Rottnest Island seaplane disaster. Jeffrey Gilmore spoke for the first time today, recounting how he tried desperately to save those on board after it crashed earlier this year. Baldivis is in safe hands with the opening of a new police station. The $26.7 million facility is one of the most technologically advanced police stations in the country and will accommodate up to 100 full-time officers. Its prime location will also see it become a police hub for the rapidly growing district.
I don't think there's a major police station which is so close to a freeway on-ramp, and that's important. It's not just important to the local community, but it's important for police to quickly get to locations north and south of here.
The station will operate 24/7 and be accessible to the public between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. every weekday. The federal government says it's committed to making it easier to build a home in Australia in an effort to fix the housing crisis across the country. Housing Minister Claire O'Neill visited a building site in her Melbourne electorate today, hopeful that this month's productivity roundtable will focus on how to cut red tape and increase approval times.
Ultimately, we need to make a change here. It is too hard to build a house in our country today, and the people sitting around the round table have the power to change that.
The government has promised to build 1.2 million homes by the end of the decade. An unexpected friendship between an octogenarian and a volunteer is showing how a simple visit can change a life. Their bond is at the heart of Loneliness Awareness Week, as Lifeline WA urges more people to reach out and connect.
Unlikely friends with wholesome benefits.
I think we've got a very common philosophy in life. Do you think that?
Yeah, I think
sort of serious, but not too serious.
82-year-old Patrick Murphy lives with MS and says his weekly visits from Josh Weston, who he was matched with through Lifeline WA's Aged Care Volunteer Visitors scheme, have changed his life.
I feel a lot more enriched. You can pretty well discuss anything, and that is great. I'm not afraid of hurting his feelings and vice versa,
True friendship.
Yeah. I see Patrick almost a bit like a father figure, I'd have to say. Like, my father's long gone. So it's, that for me, I've found that that's really fulfilled a part of my life that I didn't realise was missing.
The program's all about forging connection at a time when about 20% of Australians have reported feeling lonely.
Some of our clients are some of the most isolated people in the community. They've suffered bereavement, shrinking social circle, mobility issues, ageing issues mean that they are often physically as well as socially isolated.
The results of improving social contact could be life-saving, with research showing loneliness can be as harmful as smoking or obesity.
We do know that people who are well connected and don't feel lonely are more likely to live longer, healthier lives.
According to Lifeline WA, almost 160 volunteers made more than 3,200 visits to isolated older West Aussies over the past year. But they say more volunteers are needed to help combat rising loneliness in our community.
I think if you can get matched with somebody, it'll really enrich your life, and it's a symbiotic relationship. Yeah.
Jessica Hayes, 10 News.
Time for sport now with Lockie Reid, and Lock, the Pies are cold.
Yeah, they certainly are, Estelle. They look to have run out of puff with finals approaching. Plus, call for help. Could many bring sacked Demons coach Simon Goodwin out west? And Tahiti was both savage and stunning today. We'll have the highlights from another intense day of waves at Jalpu.
I'm telling you, they hacked the hackers.
Can we track it?
They intercepted $300 million worth of drugs.
And they caught some of the biggest money launderers in history.
Really?
They keep kids safe online.
And Jen down the road works there.
At the Australian Federal Police, everyday people do legendary work in over 200 diverse roles around Australia and the world.
I reckon I could do that.
Everyday people, legendary work. Apply now.
Big news.
What is it?
Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is now streaming. Konnichiwa. So you can watch it with everyone.
I've waited years for this.
Your parents.
Let's do this.
Your grandparents.
Yay!
And even this guy.
Little Tom.
Cringe.
Gotta go fast.
Don't tell me I've got a catchphrase.
That's right, new hedgehog.
Sonic the Hedgehog 3, now streaming, only on Paramount Plus.
Gordon Ramsay has never met a restaurant owner like Mrs. White.
I am 101.
101? How's she doing it?
I knew how to cook better than I did anything else, so we opened the restaurant in '64.
Over 6 decades. It's an honour.
God bless you.
But can he help save the family business?
How much money are you losing a week?
2,000.
This legacy needs to be protected.
Gordon Ramsay's Secret Service, 7:30 Wednesday on 10.
Watch and stream free.
The Doghouse is brand new 7:30 Thursday.
I'm really hoping Poet would choose us.
Will this little poet know it when she's found her forever home?
He's trying to escape.
7:30 Thursday on 10.
Watch it stream free.
It's grand finale week.
There's a lot riding on this.
This is the time for me to shine.
I'm going to beat them the only way I know how. Swing hard, leave everything in the kitchen.
It all starts Sunday on 10.
Watch it stream free.
Welcome to sport, everyone. Less than a week after getting the sack from Melbourne, Simon Goodwin has been linked to a role with West Coast. The Eagles already making changes to their coaching department, with Luke Webster departing this week, and are expected to add some experience around Andrew McWalter.
I don't know if Goody will move over here, but he's someone that's had a big influence on my career. So if he's willing to help, I'd ask the question. I spent a year with him last year and he helped me a lot, just see the game differently, think about it differently. He's a terrific coach, great person, and I've got no doubt he'll senior coach a football team again.
The Eagles welcoming back Jack Graham. Brock replaces Edwards, and Flynn is in for Bailey Williams as they face the top of the ladder Crows on Sunday. Port Adelaide has never lost to Fremantle at Adelaide Oval, but the odds are still against them this Saturday night. With the Dockers flying and so many injured bodies, the Power has all hands on deck. Alia, among those playing sore, who's been nursing knee soreness for nearly 2 months.
If your mind is ready and you want to go out there and compete, I think your body will always follow. So yeah, it's not easy, but as an athlete, you don't. Your footy career doesn't naturally just smooth sailing all the way.
Born in a Kenyan refugee camp, the West Aussie was star attraction at Port's annual Multicultural Cup today, and it's given an idea for a different kind of State of Origin spin-off.
How awesome would it be if we have an Indigenous All-Star versus a multicultural team? And I don't think we could feel enough for a team, but I feel like that's something that can happen in the future. Hopefully while I'm still playing.
Star forward Mitch Georgiades was kept out of training today after some sickness earlier in the week. He'll be fine to play tomorrow. Michael Voss says he feels hollow joy despite being backed by Carlton's board to coach next year. He admits the pain of an underachieving year overshadows the decision.
Rarely do clubs have to clarify they're actually keeping their coach, and Michael Voss views Carlton's lifeline as bittersweet.
Sort of feels a little bit of hollow joy in some ways. There's no contentment in how we've found ourselves here and probably how it's played out or being able to get that reassurance that you get to see out your contract. But there's also gratitude.
Voss says he got the thumbs up from incoming CEO Graham Wright during a coffee catch-up on Tuesday, but admits he never felt safe with a board meeting scheduled the next day.
And there was never any assurances out throughout the whole process of it all. When you come into this role, is you got to understand, being quite content that there's an end at some point in time.
3 rounds remain and Tom de Koning is yet to recommit, nor has Jack Silvani, who's also exploring a move away from Princes Park.
He's in a position where he gets to explore what the next phase looks like for him. But for us, it's about sort of finishing off as a team.
Demons caretaker coach Troy Chaplin ruled himself out of the race to take over the top job.
I've spoken to the club and I won't be pursuing the role, but I certainly have aspirations to be a senior coach one day.
Tiger Tom Lynch has re-signed for at least another season. Now the club's focus shifts to Dion Prestia.
When you look at Scott Pendlebury, I reckon he's signed 5 one-year deals in a row. So we don't want to put a ceiling on how long that's going to last. So right now he signed a 1-year deal, and Dion, we're looking at a 1-year deal as well. Hopefully that will get resolved in the next week or so.
Lynch returns from his lengthy suspension to play St Kilda tomorrow. Jonathan Simon, 10 News.
The Giants admit they're struggling to get on top of Jesse Hogan's foot injury, which has seen him ruled out of Sunday's clash against the Kangaroos. The uncertainty, a major concern in the lead up to September.
As they fight to lock up a finals place, never mind challenge for the premiership, this is not what the Giants need. Jesse Hogan sidelined for a 3rd game in 6 weeks.
Yeah, he's just got inflammation in that foot that just provides some pain.
The prospect of the reigning Coleman medalist battling to get through the rest of the season is now real.
Yeah, it's not ideal. It's not ideal, but it's what we got. So we have to deal with it. And if that means that we move past him in the short term, then that's the way we'll go.
Toby Green's return from suspension helps as well and makes the prospect of a monumental upset all the more difficult.
Probably their most decorated player, so that makes it a little bit tougher for us.
Alistair Clarkson's memories of Canberra, not the fondest.
Last time I was there, it was snowed. Took the shirt off and ran around in the cold and I thought I said, Dad, put away the blubber.
The Roos will be without their 2 best forwards in the injured Nick Larkey and suspended Paul Curtis. Daniel Garb, 10 News.
A horror night for Collingwood, a bad loss and a sickening collision involving Jeremy Howe and Hawkeye Newcombe. Howe spent the night in hospital, Newcombe cleared by the MRO.
Collingwood had only just welcomed Jeremy Howe back.
Newcombe and Howe collide in front of the benches. They're both down.
It's sickening to watch. This is what these guys subject themselves to.
It rocked us. It did, but it was right in front of us. It rocked us and it rocked some of our staff.
The crucial defender barely lasted a minute before Jai Newcombe's brutal bump. That's now 4 losses in 5 games for Craig McRae's men, who could slide to 4th by round's end, with ladder leaders Adelaide to come next week.
Yeah, I apologise to our Magpie Army. Just a lack of system and then a lack of fight. Like I've always said to our players, nothing's permanent. Nothing's permanent.
While the Hawks are timing their run.
Deer at the back. Welcome to Air Deer.
Sam Mitchell's men could have fallen outside the 8 with a loss, but with Melbourne and Brisbane to finish, the top 4 spot is back on the cards. The coach says anything is possible.
So it's not like we don't feel like we're capable, it's just can we do it for long enough? So if we can maintain our best footy or close to it for longer periods of time, then we think we can go a long way.
Jack Gunston led all scorers with 4 goals and now sits second on the Coleman. Mitchell has a strong take on if he should be All-Australian again.
Yeah, but I wouldn't think he's a potential Australian now. He'd have to be locked in, wouldn't he? It's great for him to get a blazer this year.
Adrian Franklin, 10 News.
Fremantle are counting down the days to Thursday's season opener against Port in Adelaide, and Dockers defender Ash Brazel is confident their team can compete for silverware in 2025 with key players Kiara Bowers and captain Anne Stannett back in action.
I feel like we probably weren't sure where we would end up in the season last year. Like we lost Ange, our captain, very early on in the year. We had Turbo, who was best and fairest for pregnant. And so we had key players out. So for me to still make finals last year with those players out, we've got them back in. Yeah, I think this season anything's possible.
Brazel and the skipper joining AFLW ambassador and Hall of Famer Debbie Lee at Manual College this morning to inspire the next generation of women in sports. The Perth Heat will be out to rediscover the good old days under a new ownership with US businessman Cole Sheray, the saviour. The Heat's future looked over a month ago, and while WA Baseball breathed new life into the franchise, now they have a passionate buyer with money keen to revisit the 90s when the franchise was one of the hottest tickets in town.
It is, absolutely. I had 15 Claxton Shield championships. But I look back and look at the 80s and 90s of baseball in Australia, and it was a rockin' party.
Certainly was. Just 4 teams will battle it out for the ABL's Claxton Shield. Sheray also owns the Sydney Blue Sox. Just 3 years after being crowned champions, Western United have been given the boot from the A-League. The Victorian outfit's owners in deep with the tax department and unable to pay the bills. The club has indicated it will appeal the decision. Perth Glory monitoring the situation closely if a feeding frenzy for players arises, but hope to see the league restored to 13 teams for the coming season. She steered the ship of the Matildas and had a blockbuster season and title-winning Arsenal. Now Steph Catley has been shortlisted for the prestigious Ballon d'Or, the only Aussie to be nominated alongside 6 of her Gunners teammates. This was Tahiti's treacherous best, and the world's best made it their playground in pumping 10-foot barrels. Australia's Jack Robinson was dialed in, winning through to the round of 16. Ethan Ewing had to do it the hard way through the elimination rounds. The day belonged to South Africa's Geordie Smith, who dropped a 9.5.
Now has to readjust, pulls up and under, comes out after the spin.
Did you get the news that you clinched your spot in the final five?
Hey, now we're having fun, boy.
Yes, he's into the final 5 with a first world title in his sights, and all in his 18th year on the tour. A little bit of kindness can go a long way, as Bills quarterback Josh Allen discovered when he was chilling with cerebral palsy golf influencer and Buffalo fan Nate Forrester.
I got a question. I've got 2 tickets to the Ryder Cup. They're yours if you want. You down for that? Yeah! All right.
So Alan, the Buffalo Bills and Nate and his mum can all celebrate a magical moment with our play of the day. That is the perfect way to end Friday.
Thanks, Locke. Coming up next, Bo Pearson with all the weather details.
Welcome to the Wildlife Retreat at Taronga, an elegant eco-retreat overlooking Sydney Harbour. Encounter animals up close, hear our keepers' stories, add in incredible family experiences, and your stay becomes naturally unforgettable.
I wish I had the right uniform and school shoes like the other kids. I really want to go on excursions, but I know Mum's worried about money. So I'm not going to ask. And homework? It didn't used to be so hard. But I'm still trying. I won't give up.
Molly's doing everything she can to succeed at school. But how can she move forward when poverty holds her back? If you agree that every child deserves a chance to achieve all they're capable of, sponsor a child with the Smith family. Please go online or call 1-800-572-084. You can stop poverty getting in the way of a child's potential. Sponsor a child like Molly today.
I just wish I had what I need for school. Then I know I could do better.
Survivor. Australia versus the world.
It's like the Olympics as Survivor.
I'm coming in hot with this, Dad.
He's back on 10. And we're on a nationwide hunt for the next iconic housemates. If you think you have what it takes, apply now at 10.com.au.
To breaking news, and a jury has just returned a verdict in the case of a mum charged with stabbing her 14-year-old daughter's secret boyfriend. A few minutes ago, the jury found Jennifer Muilin Chin guilty of causing bodily harm over the stabbing. Chin maintained throughout the trial that she acted in self-defence, believing the teen was an intruder and she had to protect her family. But the prosecution argued she went too far. The boy was left with a collapsed lung. She didn't react when the verdict was read out. Just repeating, Jennifer Nguyen Chen has been found guilty of causing bodily harm. Time for more weather with Bo Pearson. And Bo, you're taking cover with something tasty.
Yeah, Estelle, that is certainly right. There is a lot of rain on the way, so we are taking cover at one of the places serving some of the best slices in town, Willie's Pizza Bar, with a wonderful event on tonight for Plateful Perth, which is taking over the CBD for the month of August. We've got Jessie here from the Parker Group to talk about what is happening tonight. You guys are known for your lovely deep dish pizzas. Tell us what's happening with all the action here.
Tonight at Willie's, we are doing a pizza showdown, and we have all local talent from Perth here, and we've got Jazz from Pals and Leaderville, we've got Max, who's a food writer in Perth, we've got Brendan and the Willie's team, we've also got Blaze, who's just won WA Chef of the Year, and they're going to be going head to head of trying to be crowned the best pizza in Perth. And tonight people will come, all the guests will come and have pizza to eat, and they can try everything, they can vote for their own, and then we'll crown the winner, and it'll just be a bit of friendly competition.
Absolutely, it sounds absolutely awesome. Jack, our cameraman, is working overtime, wheeling and dealing here with his pizza, which looks absolutely incredible. Plateful Perth is a wonderful event. You guys must be stoked to be involved again.
Yeah, we're really excited that we've been back again this year, and I think it's just a really good opportunity for venues like ourselves to do something different and get really creative with different events like tonight.
Yeah, awesome. Well, Jessie, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for having us. Willie's Pizza Bar here in Perth, some of the best pizza slices in town. Come along and check them out. Unfortunately, tonight's event is sold out, but you can still come along and check them out. And there are plenty of things to see and do for Plateful Perth throughout the month of August. Head into the city and have yourself a good old time. Let's have a look now at the weather for the next couple of days, and it is going to be very, very wet, especially tomorrow. You can see on the satellite image that there is a fair bit of cloud rolling through, with a cloud band streaming through the south of the state. That's ahead of an approaching trough and front in the Indian Ocean. On the synoptic chart, you can see that front from today moving east through the southwest land division, and another slow-moving trough will develop over the lower west tomorrow morning, ahead of another cold front on Saturday evening that is really going to pack a punch. For the next 24 hours, we're looking at a severe weather warning for heavy rain stretching all the way from Jurien Bay down to Mandurah. That rain band with embedded thunderstorms could produce flash flooding with some isolated totals at up to 70 millimetres possible. For the rest of the nation, mostly sunny and 33 in Darwin, Brisbane 19 and showers, rain as well for Sydney, cloud clearing around Melbourne, Adelaide a shower or two, freezing for Canberra, then 15 and cloudy. Hobart 14 and partly cloudy. For WA tomorrow, Broome 30 degrees and sunny, Port Hedland 31, Carnarvon 26, mostly sunny, showers increasing around Geraldton and Esperance, and then in the southwest, lots of rain for Bunbury 18 degrees and showers increasing for Albany on the south coast as well. For the Perth suburbs, rain and heavy falls possible across the board, heaviest through the northeastern suburbs and also around the hills. Chance of a thunderstorm in the morning and the afternoon too. Minimums from 11 and 12 degrees and maximums getting up to 19 degrees. On the waters, winds northwesterly 15 to 20 knots, turning westerly late in the afternoon, seas to 1.5 metres and swells southwesterly tending westerly to 2.5 metres. Sunrise will be at 6:58 tomorrow morning and setting at 5:47 in the evening. Perth City tomorrow, plenty of rain in store. The chance of a thunderstorm and some heavy rain falls possible to up to 35 millimetres possible for the city centre. And essentially it's going to rain all day. Minimum of 12 degrees and a maximum of 19. Our extended forecast will be for Sunday, showers easing. We're still looking at up to 10 millimetres. Monday 19 and partly cloudy. Tuesday clearing up nicely for 22 degrees and sunny. Wednesday showers increasing once again, 23 degrees the maximum. Thursday we've got some more rain on the forecast, 15 millimetres here and 18 degrees. And then Friday we're looking at partly cloudy conditions, and it is starting to clear up a little bit for a maximum of 17 degrees. So a lot of rain on the way, especially tomorrow. Estelle, Plateful Perth is one of the places to be for August. There's wonderful things to see and do. There's awesome pizza here at Willie's Pizza Bar. I'm going to get stuck in. Have yourself a lovely weekend. Stay dry, and I might save you a slice if you're lucky. We'll see.
Looks delicious, Bo. Enjoy. That's 10 News Perth for tonight. I'm Estelle Lewis. Thanks for your company. Good night.